Have you ever wondered about the events that triggered one of the deadliest conflicts in human history, the Second World War? It all began with the Treaty of Versailles, the peace agreement that ended the First World War. However, its harsh terms led to economic hardship and political unrest in Germany, creating fertile ground for the rise of extremism. Fascism took root, not only in Germany under Adolf Hitler, but also in Italy under Benito Mussolini, and in Japan under a militaristic government. These aggressive regimes sought to expand their territories, disregarding international laws and treaties. In the late summer of 1939, the world watched in disbelief as Germany launched an invasion on Poland, defying the calls for peace from the international community. This act of aggression was a direct challenge to the world order, and it forced nations to choose sides. Thus, the spark ignited in 1939 with the invasion of Poland, marking the beginning of the world's darkest era. With the world plunged into chaos, alliances were formed and battle lines were drawn. The expansion of this global conflict was swift and relentless. The world was divided into two major alliances: the Axis powers, spearheaded by Germany, Italy, and Japan, and the Allied powers, including the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union. Germany, under the iron grip of Adolf Hitler, was hell-bent on establishing a new world order. Its aggressive expansionism led to the invasion of Poland, triggering the start of the war. Meanwhile, Japan sought to expand its empire in the east, ultimately leading to the infamous attack on Pearl Harbor and drawing the United States into the war. As the war spread across the globe, the Allied and Axis powers engaged in numerous significant battles, each leaving their distinct marks on the annals of history. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought in the icy winds of the Eastern Front, was a brutal confrontation between the Soviet Union and Germany. In the Pacific Theater, the Battle of Midway was a critical turning point, with the United States dealing a crippling blow to the Japanese Navy. Parallel to the battles and skirmishes, a great human tragedy was unfolding. The Holocaust, orchestrated by Nazi Germany, resulted in the systematic murder of 6 million Jews. This genocide, one of the darkest chapters of human history, remains a stark reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink in times of war. The United Kingdom, under the leadership of Winston Churchill, stood as a beacon of resistance against the Axis onslaught. The United States, led by Franklin D. Roosevelt, mobilized its vast resources to support the Allies, playing a crucial role in turning the tide of the war. From the freezing Eastern Front to the Pacific Islands, the war raged on, leaving a trail of destruction and despair. But as with every storm, there comes a turning point. The Second World War, a tempest of unparalleled fury, was no exception. It was the Battle of Stalingrad that first shifted the winds of war. The Soviet Union, against all odds, managed to halt the German advance, marking a significant turning point in the Eastern Front. Then came the Normandy invasion, an operation of immense scale and audacity. The Allied forces landed on French shores, opening a new Western Front and squeezing the Axis powers from both sides. But perhaps the most dramatic shift occurred with the dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The unimaginable devastation wrought by these new weapons forced Japan to surrender, effectively ending the war in the Pacific. These decisive moments marked the beginning of the end for the Axis powers. Each turning point, each decisive action, pushed the world one step closer to the cessation of a war that had consumed so many. Now, let's delve into the aftermath of this global conflict. The curtain fell on the Second World War with the unconditional surrender of both Germany and Japan. But this was not the end. Rather, it was the beginning of a new world order. In the wake of this devastating conflict, nations united to form the United Nations in 1945, aiming to prevent such a calamity from ever happening again. This international organization was intended to foster peace and harmony. But the world was far from harmonious. The end of the war also marked the start of the Cold War, a tense standoff between the world's new superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. This period was characterized by political and military tension, setting the stage for a new kind of warfare. One fought not with bullets, but with ideologies and influence. Thus, the echoes of the Second World War continue to reverberate, shaping the world we live in today.